So we've reached a stage now in our journey to get our customer properly loaded into the system is where we have to create an affordability. So how do we do this? Firstly, we're going to head over to the Affordability tab. Now here you'll see all the previous affordabilities that you've done for your client. If you have not done any affordabilities, there will simply be nothing here. Now clicking on the Add Affordability button, QuintPay copies the previous affordability information into your new affordability. Now over here we can see the customer has a fixed monthly income. We will go and say whatever that is. As we type, the system will update. You will then put in everything else. If you have any payroll expenses as an example, you'll type that in over there. Then the system comes down and it does the General National Credit Act minimum expenses calculation. Now, there's a video that we will be doing at a later stage where we will be discussing the value of this in more details and the concept of this in more details. But for now, know that this calculation is done and that if your expenses that you are going to be declaring for this type of income is less than this amount over here, then QuintPay will default to that amount. There is an override function which I will discuss shortly, and then I'll show you how that works. When you get to your NCA declared expenses, you'll make a selection from the drop down, enter the expense, and add as many comments as you want. Comments are valuable to add. They allow for you at a later stage to go back and understand what your thinking was when you entered information into the system. QuintPay has the ability to pull through the credit check expenses directly onto your affordability. If you're not seeing any credit check expenses here, it means that one or two things are happening. Either your client does not have any credit bureau expenses, or alternatively the setting has not been activated. Speak to your system administrator. If you are the system administrator, there is a video under the settings section of this QuintPay tutorial videos where we will discuss how to switch the setting on and off, and you can refer to it over there. Then we have your other expenses. Again, the items on this drop down is a setting where you add them in your settings menu. Again, under the settings menu, we will have a more detailed video on how to add those to your system settings. Once you've decided how much you want to add over here, you'll comfortably add them. Now we get into your final totals over here. You can now go and override this, underride this, it doesn't really matter. You are entitled to add as many, so I can change this. We can go in and make sure that the information is absolutely correct. Once we've done this, we'll simply just click on Create Affordability. Now we're going to be going into a bit more detail at a later stage in our journey as to exactly how the minimum expense tables work. There's going to be a video on that. We're going to be discussing exactly how to override those minimum expenses if your consumer are definitely using or making use of less expenses than what the NCR deems to be reasonable. And that is how easy it is to create an affordability inside of QuintPay.